to day 15 of the SOS free challenge. We are over the halfway mark. Well, technically today is the halfway mark, I suppose, because it's 30 days, not 28 in a month. It's a 30-day challenge. But anyway, I'm very excited for it to be the halfway mark. I've been doing some real serious thinking about needing to find some more recipes that are probably maybe a little more tried and true or a little more normally type recipes. I know for a fact that Chef AJ has this Chipotle black bean burger recipe that's very good. I know it's SOS free. I've made it in the past. It is delicious. My only concern is that then I can't have ketchup with it or like pickles or anything like that, which is, I don't know, maybe a burger is just the vector for the condiments and the salt that goes on it. I guess. I don't know. I'm not really discouraged or anything. It's just, you know, a little bit of a struggle, more of a struggle than I thought it would be. So, if you guys watched yesterday's video, you know that I have a salad left at work. And then I have in a container to take with me there's rice and black beans and some corn. And then on top of that, you can't really see it. Yep, yeah, there you can. There's 3 little corn shell tortillas. I was going to bring some salsa with me to go with it, but we don't have a whole lot of salsa left, and so I don't want to take my husband's salsa. He really enjoys it way more than I do. So then there was an avocado that he cut up a tiny few little pieces for me last night that I had on my shells that I had last night. And so here's the avocado. There's like maybe, I don't know, a lot of it was bad. So there's not a whole lot of avocado left in there, but we left it together so that it would stay better. The bottom half of it looks okay on the one side, so that'll be fine. That'll be enough avocado. So, oh, it's falling apart. So anyway, got a little bit of avocado to take with me to smear on that, so that'll be fine. That'll be enough. And then I was going to show you, I'm also bringing a snack with me. Do you see what that is? Looks like really tiny baby popped popcorn, right? Well, it's not popcorn. It's not corn, actually. What it is sorghum. It's puffed sorghum. We find it at one of our Indian stores that's local. And there's 2 different ways you can get it that I have seen, and one is salted and one is unsalted, and we buy the one that is unsalted, so literally it is just puffed sorghum. However, it has a salty flavor to it. Just the sorghum itself, when you puff it, it does have a little bit of a salty flavor, so it does taste a little bit like salted popcorn. But anyway, this is the bag that we buy. It's called jowar, I think is how you would say that. But literally the only ingredient is puffed jowar or sorghum. And I put this in the boys' granola bars when I make them, and we take them as a snack, or like if we go to the movie theater, we take these for the boys, and the girls if they want them, but whatever. For a snack, seeing as the boys can't have corn, 2 of my boys are extremely allergic to corn. So this fits the bill. It works just fine. So anyway, I thought I would show you that. I'm going to enjoy that sometime today, maybe even on the drive home. I'm not sure yet. And I have my berry smoothie. So yesterday I bought the kale naked drink, and I bought another one because it was 2 for $4, and it was a berry one. And so I'm sure that's going to be awesome. So I'll drink that probably right when I get to work. Put that over some ice in my cup and enjoy that. Then I'll have my lunch and I'll have my salad for after that. And today should be, I don't know, maybe a little bit quieter. Maybe not. We're training a new technician, and I don't know if I have anything to do with it, but at work they're training a new technician, and there's still the skills fair going on, and I might need to help with that. So I need to get gas when I get up north, so I'll need to leave here pretty soon to go ahead and do that before I go into work and make sure I get there and clocked in on time and stuff. So that's what I'm doing, and I'll talk to you guys later. Alrighty guys, so I actually had a really nice lunch today, regardless of the fact that there was no sodium involved. So, no salt involved, and it was very decent. So, like, surprisingly good. Although, it had fat, so maybe I shouldn't be so surprised that it was good. So I had, like a half a bowl of rice, and I put corn in there and beans in there like I showed you this morning with those few corn tortilla shells. So I warmed that up, and then there ended up being almost half of an avocado left out of the remnants of the blackness. So I squished that and put it either on the shell or on top of the rice and beans and corn, and just just ate it that way, and it was very good. I really enjoyed it. It was very tasty. Yay! I found a simple thing to eat that was really good, but like I said, kind of high in fat, so I don't know. I'm really not sure about this whole thing, guys. I'm pretty sure this is not the right lifestyle for me, like for sure. I ate my salad as well. I did that earlier this morning, and it was very good. So not any kind of a surprise there. It was tasty. I'm definitely not feeling hungry at all. I'm driving home right now, obviously, and I'm not feeling very hungry at all. I'm very tired. So I will probably, I'll probably just hang out with my boys when I get home for a little while and then go to bed. My girls are actually at my mom's house. The boys have orchestra, individual orchestra lessons on, or instrument lessons, I should say, on Thursday evenings. So they don't get home until, if they're real lucky, they'll get home at about 5:30. And so Anthony will throw some sandwiches together for them, but they probably won't. I think he's going to be stuck in traffic tonight because they didn't get out of town as quickly as they do, and the road we live off of is just such a mess with traffic. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. So anyway, they'll need to have sandwiches, but my mom is going to feed the girls supper so that they don't have to worry about finding something on their own. Not that we don't have food in the house. They could make themselves food. They really could, but it's fine. No big deal. My mom's awesome like that. She's very helpful when it comes to taking care of any of the kids. So it's super nice to have that extra support around, even though Anthony's a stay-at-home dad. Having that extra adult around when I'm either sleeping because I'm working nights or I'm at work is just really nice. So Anthony said that school went really well for them today. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that with the boys homeschooling, I rearranged their homeschooling schedule so Wednesdays and Thursdays when I'm up in my part-time job, that their days are easier. Like they've got their art class and their PE class and their typing class. So all of the classes that they only have a couple times a week that are easier, as many of them as possible, I fit it into Wednesday and Thursday afternoon, or Wednesday and Thursday morning. And I also rearranged our schedule so that they only have 4 classes on Wednesdays and Fridays, so they're done at noon on both Wednesdays and Fridays. Now, if they don't finish something on Friday, not a big deal. We'll just do it over the weekend. It's no problem at all. But I do want them to be done early enough on Wednesdays and Fridays that they can get to the park, or they can get out and go do something. They can play board games, just, chill out a little bit, because this particular homeschooling year is a lot more challenging than what we've done the past 2 years. So it's been really good for them to be able to just chill on a couple afternoons a week. But anyway, so I don't have any schoolwork that I need to help them catch up on or do anything about when I get home today, so that's kind of nice. At least I don't think so. Not that I don't think so, but I'm feeling fairly tired. I don't need to stop at the store on the way home. I did that last night. They didn't have any shredded lettuce. Isn't that weird? The boys actually can only eat iceberg lettuce, which is really a bummer because just about any lettuce tastes better than iceberg lettuce. But whatever, allergies are what they are. So we usually buy already shredded lettuce because it's super convenient and easy. So yeah, they didn't have any, so I bought a head of lettuce. So Anthony was going to have to chop that up to put on sandwiches tonight. Oh well, old-fashioned, it is no big deal. We can handle cutting a head of lettuce once in a while if we have to. Actually, the boys really like it when we buy a head of lettuce. And if you take off maybe the outside third of the head of lettuce and you just have the inside cups, and then you make like either a chickpea tuna salad type thing. It's not tuna, it's chickpeas, but tuna salad made out of chickpeas, or just straight up tuna if we're doing the meat thing for the day. And they like to have that on their plate, and then the little lettuce cups, they can just scoop some up and put it in the lettuce cup and just eat it straight like that. They really enjoy that, actually, which is kind of fun because if your kid enjoys eating a vegetable, even if it's iceberg lettuce, which just barely constitutes as a vegetable in my opinion, yeah, more power to him, So anyway, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm not letting you guys go yet. I have something I wanted to tell you. So I didn't have the opportunity to read my book anymore today, which was kind of a bummer because I really did want to, but it was actually pretty busy. But I did listen to a new So I guess webinar. Anyway, I listened to a new presentation by Dr. Doug Lyle and Chef AJ was hosting. And I usually like just about anything that Dr. Lyle does, simply because we have very similar personalities in that we both just don't care if somebody else wants to think that they're right. I don't care. If you believe that you're right and that's the way it needs to be and that makes you happy, whatever. I mean, I don't care. That is totally fine by me. Because it's either going to agree with what I think or not, and if it doesn't, well, whatever, it's your opinion. I don't care. It's fine. To each his own. That's good. And he's very similar to that, so I actually find it very easy to listen to some of the things that he talks about and the ideas that he shares. Maybe for some people it would be very difficult to enact, but like when he says things like if people are questioning you about your lifestyle choices or being vegan and whether it's healthy, or if they say, well, where are you going to get your protein, you just answer them, I don't know, I'm not really sure about that. I mean, I know the answer to it, but I'm not going to argue with somebody about it. I don't really care what they think. So, unless they're truly asking for information purposes, like they really and truly are interested, in which case then, yeah, I'll have a conversation about it, absolutely. But for the most part, I'm just whatever. If you really want to talk about it, great, we will. And if you're just being inquisitive because you're kind of being a jerk about it, then yeah, whatever. I don't care what you think. It's no big deal. So he kind of has that same attitude. But this new webinar, you guys really should go and watch it. It was really good. It posted on October 3rd. I think it's Healthy Living with Chef AJ with Dr. Doug Lyle, and it's called the Cram Circuit, or Cramming and Binging, something like that. But mostly it's about what he calls a cram circuit. And I think it makes a whole lot of logical sense. And I actually kind of think I might fit into that category. So he basically says that for the longest time, the people in the doctors in the plant-based community they'll have people that come to him and say, hey, I am doing everything right, and I've lost like 50 pounds, and I obviously have 50 pounds yet to go, and I'm not losing any weight, and I'm doing exactly what you tell me to do. I am eating perfectly. I eat super healthy. What in the world is going on? And they really and truly didn't believe them. Not in a bad way, just in I'm sure there's something wrong, or they're doing something not quite right that's causing them to retain the weight. So that's what they've believed all this time in the past, which, yeah, I mean, that makes logical sense. If you think that this is the way it should work and calorie density is calorie density, and, if that's what you've understood, then I can see how that would be. But they've come to understand that there is a neurological pathway in the brain that's part of the reward system, really, is what it sounds like, and that basically you condition your brain, and it's a normal circuitry. Like this cram circuitry is very normal. So if you have hyperpalatable food in your environment and you're already full, you're still gonna, some people, not all people, some people are still going to seek out that hyperpalatable full food even after they're full, because that's what we're hardwired to do. Well, in the past, it wasn't an issue because you might have had, hyperpalatable food like dates for, a week out of the year, and then it was over. Whereas nowadays, you have hyperpalatable food everywhere, like everywhere. And even if you're a hardcore vegan, you still have peanut butter in the house typically, and you still have dates, and you still have avocados, and there's higher fat foods that are richer and higher palatability foods that are, hyperpalatable foods that are available. And so even if you are full, some people may very well have conditioned themselves to go and have like a piece of toast with peanut butter on it later in the day, or there's all sorts of examples, but basically the point is that these people, and it's certainly not everybody, but there are people that go on a really super healthy diet and lose, a decent amount of weight, and then maybe they've only lost like half the weight they needed to lose, and then they sit there and they go, what in the world is wrong with me? This isn't fair. Everybody else is losing the weight when they go on this type of a lifestyle. Why am I not? And it could very well because of this cram circuitry that he was talking about. So I would highly suggest people go and watch that. If I remember, I'll try to put a link to it the description box below. But I kind of think that I fall into that category at least a little bit, because I definitely, I lost 35 pounds, and I think I probably have about 30 pounds to lose. So I've lost about half my weight, and I probably have about half of it to lose. And I really do eat healthy. Every once in a while, I eat more than, I eat more hyper-palatable foods, but yeah, I could maybe fall into this category where, I've had a bowl of rice with vegetables and I go out to the garage and grab a couple of dates for dessert. Well, I was already full. I didn't need to do that, and that just added another 150 calories to my meal that I really wasn't hungry for. So it's the fact that A, they're there, and B, they're delicious and wonderful, and it's like the perfect dessert, and maybe I've conditioned myself to expect a treat after meals or something like that. I don't know. I haven't really spent a lot of time thinking about it yet, and processing what he actually was saying, but it certainly makes sense to me that you could overeat on completely healthy foods and maintain your weight a little bit too high. So the one thing that they did not address, and I bet you anything they would still argue, because they both are vehemently against the weighing and measuring programs. They both are very, very, very anti that. And from his point of view, Dr. Lyle's point of view, is that it's because there's not one other species on the planet that has to weigh and measure their food, which is true. I totally believe that you don't have animals out on the plains and savannas thinking, should I eat one more blade of grass or not? They eat to the amount of food that they need to eat to maintain their weight perfectly. However, if this cram circuitry is true and it's possible, I would think that going on a weighing and measuring program, not long term, but like 2 weeks, maybe a month, would stop the additional cram, because it's not an option. You weighed and measured your food, that's the amount of food that you get, and then it's done. And that you could break that conditioned circuitry that's going on in your brain that you've conditioned yourself for with that type of a program. They didn't address that at all, but I see that as being a very reasonable solution to that you would weigh and measure your food to an exact amount of food for a month, and by the time you're done doing that, you would have a real good feel for the exact amount of food that you need in order to either lose weight if you need to lose weight, or maintain your weight if you're trying to maintain your weight, or whatever the case may be for you. So anyway, I'm not sure about the weighing and measuring thing. It's kind of a little scary to me, because I just don't want to be starving all the time. But at the same time, I think that I could get past the hunger cravings within probably about 3 or 4 days, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So I'm going to seriously give some consideration to the next diet, whether I do like a Food Overeaters Anonymous or Food Addicts Anonymous, or whatever whatever it's called. I don't remember the acronym for it. I know the plan that I'm thinking of, but I don't know what it's called. Where it's very specific about, you have 4 ounces of protein, you have 4 ounces of fruit, you have 4 ounces, that kind of thing. A very specific prescribed amount of food for each meal. And you could pick what you want out of the categories. Like your protein is fine if it's tofu, and or if it's, I don't think peanuts would be fine, but you get the picture. You could pick vegetable-based proteins. You don't have to have a steak, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I might really and truly be interested in doing that. The other way to get rid of a conditioned process such as he describes would be, in my mind, would be to do the where you narrow your feeding window, so you're in more of a catabolic phase for longer. And I know I've talked to you guys about potentially doing that. That's also of interest to me to try. I think that would be very difficult, and the weighing and measuring program might be also extremely difficult, to be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure how well I would do with that. Although you get to have all the different, like salt isn't a problem. You can't have sugar on that type of a diet, but that's not an issue. That would not be a problem for me at all, because that's just not something I crave or go to. But anyway, so I'm going to have some food for thought, some thoughts about food coming up here pretty soon. I'm going to have to decide what it is I do next, but we're only on day 15, so I have plenty of time to think about it. If you guys have comments or questions or thoughts about it, let me know. Go watch that video and come back and comment. Let me know what you think. I find the whole topic very fascinating, and the way that he presents stuff is quite easy to understand, which is nice. It's kind of refreshing to be able to have somebody who's a doctor talk to you on a level that you can understand. So hopefully I do that for you guys. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty basic. Yeah. So anyways. Alrighty. So I'm going to say hasta luego for now, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. If anything super exciting is going on, I will certainly clue you back in later, but I doubt that's going to be the case. So I hope you guys had a great day, and yeah, happy eating. We'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.